and welcome back to part 2 of this combat mission Italy after action report. I'm Josie Wales and I'm playing as the Americans, and we are assaulting Hill 120 now. As 2nd Platoon move into the foxhole positions previously occupied by the Germans, I use my artillery to lay down a smoke screen about halfway up the hill to prevent enemy units entrenched further up the hill from laying down fire onto my advancing troops. This is the situation after 40 minutes of battle. Lieutenant Troina and 1st Platoon are on the left, although one of their squads has been sent in to reinforce Lieutenant Pender and 2nd Platoon as they move into the enemy foxhole positions. Lieutenant Zyger and 3rd Platoon is with Lieutenant McNutt and 4th Platoon, and they are both moving up on the right hand side of the hill. There's the smokescreen barrage which I've laid down as I was taking fire from entrenched units at the top of the hill. This smokescreen has stopped that from happening. Just as we start to secure the foxhole position, we come under fire from another set of foxholes further on the left-hand side. It is starting to seem that as soon as we occupy one foxhole, another 2 foxholes pop up out of nowhere. Since 2nd Platoon have been fighting pretty much non-stop since the start of the battle, they're starting to get low on ammo, so I bring up one of the supply trucks so that they can rearm. After duking it out with the Germans on the left for a few minutes, I finally managed to position an assault gun where I can put some direct fire down on them and to wrap this up.
Did you see that?
Now that the enemy on the lower slope seem to be taken care of, and that I've got a good defilade position from the entrenched forces further up, there is a lull in the battle, which I take full advantage of. I rest my troops and rearm them and perform buddy aid where I can. 3rd and 4th Platoon on the right are still being hit by intermittent enemy mortar fire. I think it's an 81mm mortar. I used my heavy artillery to start hitting the top of the hill and the main objective. This is the situation after an hour of battle. 1st Platoon, commanded by Lieutenant Troina, is in the centre. They've taken 13 casualties and have 27 men left effective. 2nd Platoon under Lieutenant Pender has taken 11 casualties, 29 men left effective, and they are just starting to advance out of the foxhole positions and carry on up the hill. 3rd Platoon under Lieutenant Zyger has taken 16 casualties, pretty much all of them from mortar fire. He's got 24 men left effective, and 1st Lieutenant McNutt has taken only 3 casualties. Sergeant Naranjo, the commander of the heavy machine gun section, has been incapacitated. In every battle, the enemy tends to have a lucky or devastating artillery hit, depending on your point of view. In this battle, it's here. That one hit has taken out an entire machine gun team almost, and also caused casualties and panic in the nearby rifle squad. Sergeant Vanar and his mortar team are out of mortar ammunition, and I have no way to resupply them, so I get them in the trucks and decide to redeploy them further up the hill to provide support for the continued infantry assault. At the very top of the hill, I get a spot on an enemy artillery observer. He will probably be the target of one of my mortar strikes. And a few meters from him, I spot an enemy anti-tank gun. I decide to bring the mortar section over onto the left flank where they will push up the hill from there. I perceive the spotter and the anti-tank gun to be a major threat, so I bring down a heavy strike on their positions. Third platoon get up into a defilade position on the right hand side. Having had a little peek over this ridge, they can see that the ground in front of them is very open. It is covered not just by that anti-tank gun, but by several machine gun positions. So any further advancement on this side at the moment looks unlikely. In the centre, I continue the assault up the hill with 1st and 2nd platoon. The next task is to take the forward slope objective. I have elements of 2nd platoon moving up on the left flank and elements of 1st platoon moving up on the right flank. The idea is that they get up and converge onto the objective from two sides. The assault by 2nd platoon on the left hand side of the forward slope objective begins to stall, so I bring up one of the assault guns for close range support to put fire onto positions in the woods slightly further up the hill. This proves to be a major mistake on my part. There is still an MG42 team on the forward slope objective. They rate fire into the assault gun, causing casualties, disabling the vehicle and causing the survivors to retreat. Meanwhile, on the left flank, Sergeant Bernard and his mortar section arrive and dismount. 2nd platoon's assault has stalled. Cook-offs from the destroyed assault gun are only adding to their problems. They start to panic and run back down the hill. I lay down suppressive fire with one of the heavy machine guns to allow 2nd platoon to make a safe withdrawal. The artillery barrage on the top of the hill has wounded the observation officer, however his radio man still seems to be okay, and we appear to have had no effect at all on the anti-tank gun team. Sergeant Bernard and his mortar section come across some German stragglers. These were likely units that were pushed out of their foxhole positions earlier, and with the help of some artillery, they'll make short work of them. With the attack on the forward slope objective failed, I call in a mortar strike on the objective before I decide to continue with the assault. The assault gun that was originally assigned to 1st platoon has become immobilised. It hasn't taken a hit, so I would assume it's thrown a track or got engine trouble. So from here it's able to put some fire down in the lightly wooded area just to the left of the forward slope objective. There are German foxholes in this area, but with the combined heavy machine gun fire and assault gun fire, we're able to keep their heads down and push them out of these positions. As soon as the barrage ends on the forward slope objective, I move elements of 1st platoon up to the position to take the foxhole positions. However, they come under machine gun fire from several different directions and soon fall back. I try once again with 2nd platoon, who try and get up on the forward slope objective from the left hand side, but the fire proves too heavy for them from further up the hill, and they run back down in panic. And on the right hand side of the forward slope objective, 1st platoon start to break and run back down the hill. At this point it has become evident that the assault on the forward slope objective has failed. 1st platoon are broken, 2nd platoon are in pretty bad shape, and both platoons have taken heavy casualties. Third and 4th platoon have walked up into a dead end. They can't advance any further up the hill because of well entrenched German machine gun and anti-tank emplacements. They can't move any further over to the left for the same reason, and in that small condensed area they're a sitting target for German mortars. On the left, the mortar section are picking up German prisoners
Enemy infantry ahead.
and stragglers. After the failed assault on the forward slope objective, there is now a lull in the battle, and again I use this to rest my troops, recover them as best I can, and I call in another artillery strike on the anti-tank position at the top of the hill. This is the situation after an hour and 20 minutes of battle. We are around about 2/3 of the way up the hill. Lieutenant Troina and 1st platoon is with Lieutenant Ender and 2nd platoon, and they are recovering in the centre there after the failed assault on the forward slope. 2nd Lieutenant Zeiger is incapacitated, and the command of 3rd platoon has been taken over by Staff Sergeant Young. 1st Lieutenant McNutt is still in command of 4th platoon. However, 4th platoon is down to one medium machine gun team with just one gunner in it. Sergeant Bernard and the mortar section are moving up on the left hand side towards the North Ridge objective, and they are supported by the last remaining heavy machine gun team. 1st Lieutenant Burley of the assault gun platoon is dismounted and is being used to bring in artillery fire on enemy positions. The assault gun, originally attached to 1st platoon, has been immobilised. The assault gun attached to 2nd platoon has been utterly destroyed. And the assault gun attached to 3rd platoon is tucked behind this ridge where it can't be fired upon, but neither can it bring its gun to bear on any enemy position. So just a quick flyby. This is the mortar section on the left hand side. In the centre here, just below the forward slope objective, are 2nd and 1st platoon recovering. And over on the right hand side is 3rd platoon and the remnants of 4th platoon. The last mortar barrage looks like it's taken out the enemy AT gun, and also the radio man of the spotter team we saw earlier. We got a spot on an enemy machine gun bunker. This is why the forward slope objective has proved so difficult to take. That concludes part 2 of this after action report. I hope you've enjoyed it. Stay tuned for part 3.